Cinematic shots and smooth slow-mo B-rolls don't just come by chance, my friend. These super cool GoPro shots that you often see around YouTube and on GoPro ads are made by experienced videographers who know what they are doing. But while I cannot give you all the necessary expertise that you need to produce such videos, I can surely share with you some key settings that will help you film cinematic videos with your GoPro Hero 6. So if you are ready, let's get started. Hey, I'm Andy, filmmakers and author of Project GoPro, a GoPro training school. On the site, you'll find the link in the description. You can find over 150 free tutorials that will help you get started right now. Wait though, pause this video for a second and download the free GoPro cheat sheet that I've got right here. It's a 2-page downloadable PDF that I made for you to help you set up your GoPro almost in any filming situations. You'll find the link in the description and it's pretty cool, to be honest. A lot of people have already downloaded it and I got feedback from them, and I'm proud. I'm glad that you guys like it. Check it out, link below. Okay, GoPro tip number 1. Film in slow motion. Slow motion effects are dramatic, hence they naturally give a cinematic feel due to the fluidity of the shot. Look at this GoPro ad, for example. You will realize that most of the clips are in slow motion and are very stable. This is a perfect example of a cinematic feel. A cinematic feel can be obtained with the GoPro if you increase your frame rate to 120 FPS or 240 FPS and then you slow down fast action in post-production. But now, should you film everything in slow motion 240 FPS? Obviously not. Don't do that, please. This setting will generate a big file in your SD card, eating up all the memory space fast. And your GoPro battery will also drain faster. So switch to really high FPS like 240 only when you need it. Tip number 2. Use ND filters. You have probably seen or at least heard about ND or natural density filters. But did you know why videographers use them all the time with their cameras and also GoPros? Before explaining the function of these filters, of the ND filters, let me tell you that when shooting videos, your camera's shutter speed should ideally be double the frame rate. This is a general rule of thumb. Let me repeat that. Your shutter speed should be double the frame rate. For example, when shooting at 60 FPS, your shutter speed should be 1/120th of a second. This setting will make your videos feel more smooth and fluid, as you can see in this example. It will feel more like a movie, hence you will gain more cinematic feel to it. And the filters essentially work like sunglasses for your camera. So if you set your frame rate and shutter speed to a fixed value, and assuming that you also limit ISO values to a fixed rate, you will need ND filters to control the light going through the camera sensor. I understand that on GoPro this might seem a little bit too much, right? Because it's just a GoPro, it's a little camera. But hey, this is what it takes to get cinematic results that most people won't get with a GoPro, because you have to be careful on all of these little things and settings, which on GoPro it's a little bit inconvenient. Tip number 3. Stabilize your videos. Unless it's actually used as a filming technique, shaky videos suck and they look really amateur. GoPro has done a great job at implementing an in-camera digital stabilization system, to be honest, which keeps on getting better and better as new GoPro models come out. So if you want to get that cinematic feel, try to film stable footage. You can achieve this in different ways with a GoPro Hero 6. Number 1. Activate digital stabilization within GoPro settings, but avoid it in low light situations as this might generate artifacts and less details. Tip number 2. You can also use a gimbal for GoPro, which helps keeping your camera stable while filming. This is also ideal in low light, as is suggested not to use the digital stabilization as said before. And since gimbals are electronic mechanical things that stabilize your GoPro, it's not a digital stabilization, so your videos won't get distorted if you film in low light. That's what I suggest all the time. If you're trying to film in low light, switch the electronic stabilization off, because that would produce artifacts. And if you're really serious about your film, try to get yourself a gimbal and put your GoPro on the gimbal so that everything you record will be stable. Tip number 3, apply digital stabilization in post-production. If you don't have a gimbal and if it's low light, you are filming in dark situations and you don't have access, or maybe you don't have access to a GoPro with digital stabilization, and you find out that your footage is very shaky, you can still try to fix it in post-production by applying digital stabilization within the editing software. And a few softwares that do this is Final Cut Pro X, the one that I use all the time and works pretty well, to be honest, and also Premiere Pro. And I'm sure most softwares, like most professional softwares, would have this feature. Tip number 4, set color to flat. As you probably noticed, getting that cinematic fill effects requires a little bit of effort, right? In other words, it's not straightforward at all. Color grading though might increase the overall look of your videos. Think about it, colors influence our perception and feelings every day. So when you make your next GoPro video, use color grading in your advantage to communicate a certain feeling or mood. But in order to color grade your videos in post-production or to add custom presets, your footage ideally needs to be recorded on flat settings, on flat color settings. On GoPro Hero 6, as well as later GoPros, you get 2 color modes that you can access by enabling ProTune within the GoPro settings. If you choose GoPro Color, this setting would add a specific color style directly in camera. It gives you an image that is visibly more vibrant and with a higher contrast. This setting is not good for color grading though, so be careful. If you want to apply color grading in post-production or apply a LUT or a custom preset, you need to switch your color setting needs to be on flat. In fact, flat color mode, on the other hand, gives a raw look without any editing. It results in a low contrast image with no filters applied whatsoever. And this is perfect for customizing the look and feel of your videos with any color LUT or presets, like said before, like my GoPro cinematic LUTs that you will see right now. With over 100 custom presets, you will be able to transform the mood of your videos with just a click. But now let's move on to tip number 5, limit ISO values. Alright, we finally got to the last GoPro Hero 6 setting tip. Keeping ISO values low is always a good practice in order to avoid unwanted grain or noise in your videos. This tip especially applies to GoPro cameras since they have a relatively small sensor compared to bigger cameras. So they are more prone to noise in a way, unfortunately. To prevent your GoPro ISO going up to crazy values when light changes, you can limit this setting in the ProTune section of your camera. So with ProTune activated, you can now customize your ISO settings. You'll notice that there is 2 ISO settings, ISO minimum and ISO maximum. You can leave ISO min to the lowest value of 100, and I would set ISO maximum at 400. But remember that these are just general settings that I found to work pretty well in most well-lit environments. So don't take these values as the standard every time you film. Instead, try to always experiment and find your ideal settings based on what you're filming, basically. Alright, I really hope that these settings will kill your frustrations when setting up your GoPro camera. And remember to download the free settings cheat sheet before you go. You'll find the link in the description below. Now, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these settings, and as always, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bells so that you will be notified when my next video will come up. You will learn new stuff and you'll make better videos as a consequence. Stay healthy and I'll see you next week. Ciao.